Hello students, I'm here again with you with my new video based on electric potential part 2, and I hope you must have understood the concept of electric potential due to a point charge, due to group of charges, and due to a dipole from my previous video. And now in this video we will be focusing our attention on potential difference, relation between electric field and potential, equipotential surfaces and their properties, then equipotential surfaces of various charge systems, electric potential energy, then potential energy of a system of 2-point charges, then potential energy of a system of 3-point charges. As you can say, all the topics are very, very important. So be careful. And if you have any kind of doubt, you can give me in comments so that I can work accordingly. So potential difference, as the name indicates, it must be the difference in potential between the 2 points. So as you can see in the figure, we are having the 2 points A and B, and if we are to find the potential difference between them, see this plus Q is the source charge and Q naught is the test charge. Consider a point charge plus Q, or you can say the source charge located at O. Let A and B be the 2 points in its electric field. When a test charge Q naught is moved from A to B, work, that is WAB, has to be done against the repulsive force exerted by the charge. So the potential difference, that will be equal to VB minus VA, that will be equal to work done per unit charge. So the potential difference between 2 points in an electric field may be defined as the amount of work done in moving a unit positive charge from one point to other against the electrostatic force. As in potential, we were saying that it is the work done in moving a unit positive charge from infinity to the point, and here we are calculating the work done from one point to the other point. The remaining things are same. So SI unit of potential difference, you can see that as it is VB minus VA. So it is work done divided by the charge, test charge. So the unit for potential difference will be volt. So it is 1 volt will be equal to, for work it is 1 joule, and for charge it is 1 coulomb. If so, you will be having 1 volt is equal to 1 joule per coulomb. We can write joule in terms of Newton meter also. How it can be, as you know that work done is equal to force into displacement, and the unit for force is Newton, and for the displacement is meter. So you can write it as 1 Newton meter per coulomb. So potential difference between the 2 points in an electric field is said to be 1 volt if 1 joule of work has to be done in moving a positive charge of 1 coulomb from one point to the other against the electrostatic force. Is it clear? Now, a very important relation, you will see so many conceptual problems as well as numerical problems based on this equation. That is the relation between electric field and the potential. Now again, consider the electric field due to a charge plus Q at O. The charge is placed here at O, and let A and B be the two adjacent points separated by the distance dr. You can see here. Let V and V plus dV be the potentials at the 2 points. Now you can see here at A it is V, and at B it is V plus dV. Now force required to move the test charge, that is Q naught, against the electric field is given by force is equal to minus Q naught E. Without acceleration, this force is acting. So the work done to move the test charge from A to B can also be written as work done is equal to force dot displacement. Now the value of force we have already written. We can write the value. This is minus Q naught E dot dr. So as theta is 180, cos 180 is -1. So you will be having Q naught E dr. This is the value of the work done. Also, work done to move the test charge from A to B is given by the definition of potential difference. We can write work done is equal to minus Q naught dV, where Q naught is the charge and dV is the potential difference. Now here we are putting the negative sign for the decrease in potential in the direction of field. Now we are having the two equations. This is equation number 1 and this is equation number 2 for the calculation of work done. So equating the two equations, we will be having Q naught E dr is equal to minus Q naught dV. So this Q naught will go with this Q naught. So we will be having E is equal to minus dV by dr. This quantity dV by dr is the rate of change of potential with distance. और इसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? This is termed as a potential gradient, means fall of potential with distance. So this is a very important relation. You can see E is equal to minus dV by dr. Yani electric field is equal to negative potential gradient. Now, so electric field at any point is equal to the negative of the potential gradient at that point. So as E is equal to minus dV by dr, this implies that dV is equal to minus vector E dot dr. Now integrating the above equation between the points R1 and R2, if we are having the 2 points, we get the total potential difference will be equal to V1 to V2, and the positions are from R1 to R2. You will be having this equal to V2 minus V1 is equal to minus of this integral. So if R1 is infinity and R2 is equal to R, we can change the limits accordingly. So by using this equation, we can calculate the electric potential at a point due to an electric field. So this is very important and very useful relation as far as your numerical problems based on potential and electric field are concerned. After that, we will come to a very important topic again, that is a equipotential surface. Equi means equal, potential surface. It means it is the surface at which on all the points potential is equal. So now see the definition. Any surface that has the same electric potential at every point on it is called an equipotential surface. So by joining the points of constant potential, we can draw the equipotential surfaces throughout the region in which an electric field exists. Now, before drawing the equipotential surfaces, we must be aware about the properties of the equipotential surfaces. Now, no work is done in moving a test charge over an equipotential surface. Now see, this is an equipotential surface and A and B are the 2 points over an equipotential surface. Now work done in moving the test charge from A to B will be equal to WAB. According to the definition, it is equal to Q naught. In bracket, we are having VB minus VA, where VB and VA are the potentials at the points A and B. Now, as this surface is equipotential, so VB minus VA will be equal to 0. So, the work done will be equal to 0. So, this is the property of the equipotential surface, that if we are moving a charge on the equipotential surface, then work done will be equal to 0. Now the second property you can see, electric field is always normal to the equipotential surface at every point. Now you can read it first. If the field is not normal to the equipotential surface, it would have a non-zero component along the surface. So to move a test charge against this component, work should have to be done. But according to the definition, no work is done to move a test charge on the equipotential surface. Hence, the electric field must be normal to the equipotential surface at every point. Now see the figure. This is the equipotential surface. If the electric field is not normal, this is the electric field you can see, and it is having an angle theta with the surface, then you can resolve it into two components, that is E cos theta and E sin theta. So E sin theta is the normal component, but E cos theta, if there is a component along the surface, then because of this, there should be some non-zero work. But according to definition, work done is zero. So there is no such component in the case of electric field. So it is always normal to the equipotential surface. Now the third property is equipotential surfaces are the closer together in the regions of the strong field and farther apart in the regions of the weak field. This we can derive from this relation how it is possible. We have derived that E is equal to minus dV by dr, or you can write dr is equal to minus dV by E. Now for the small change in the value of dV, that is when dV is constant, so from this equation you can write that dr is directly proportional to 1 by E. What does it mean? If E is strong, this dr will be less, and if E is weak, dr will be more. What does this mean? कि if the electric field is strong, मतलब अगर electric field ज़्यादा है तो जो इक्विपोटेंशियल सरफेसेस हैं उनके बीच की जो स्पेसिंग होती है दैट इज dr, वो कम हो जाएगी, और अगर इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड वीक है तो जो dr है, जो स्पेसिंग है, वो ज्यादा हो जाएगी. Now we will see this concept when we will draw the equipotential surfaces for the various charge system. So I have written here again, dr is the spacing between the equipotential surfaces. Now the fourth property is no two equipotential surfaces can intersect each other. If they intersect, there will be two values of electric potential. If you are having the two equipotential surfaces, definitely they will be having the two values, and if they are cutting each other, they are intersecting each other, means two values at a single point, that is not possible. So we cannot have the two equipotential surfaces intersecting each other. So these were the some very important properties of the equipotential surfaces. Now we will draw some equipotential surfaces. You can see the first one is a very simple equipotential surface of a positive point charge. We are having a plus Q charge that is situated here. And we know that the potential is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. Now V is constant if R is constant. You can see because Q is a constant charge, test charge, 4 pi epsilon naught are also constants. 4 pi, 4 is a number, pi is a constant, 22 by 7 you must be aware of. Epsilon naught is also permittivity of the free space, it is a constant. So from this equation we can have that if R is changing, V is changing, and if R is constant, V is constant. So we can have, because of this charge, the concentric circles as the equipotential surfaces, you can see. So the equipotential surfaces of a single point charge are concentric spherical shells with their centers at the point charge. Electric lines point radially outward, we have already discussed. So they are perpendicular to the equipotential surfaces. You can see these lines of force, and these dotted I have shown the equipotential surfaces. Now the next thing is equipotential surfaces of an electric dipole. So we are having a dipole, this is a plus charge, this is a minus charge, as this is a dipole, so their magnitudes must be same. So as we have drawn previously, these are the lines I have shown by the solid curves showing the arrows moving from positive to negative charge. So these are the electric field lines. Here also we have drawn the lines. So as we have seen that in the case of a dipole, the electric field lines are such that they contract longitudinally between the two charges. So here in this field, we are having the number of lines crowded. The number of lines is more as compared to these regions. So from the formula, I told you that if this E is strong, dr is less. And if E is less, dr is strong, means they are inversely proportional to each other. So here, as the field is strong, so spacing between the equipotential surfaces, you can see here and here also, it is less. And in these regions here, as well as in this region, as the electric field is weak, तो अगर इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड वीक है तो स्पेसिंग क्या हो गई है बेटे, इट हैज इंक्रीज्ड. So you can see E is more if then dr is less, and E is less in these regions, so dr is more. Now the equipotential surface of the two equal positive charges, you are having two positive charges, they are equal. So the electric field lines are such that in the region in between the charges, we are not having any electric field line. So they are exerting lateral pressure on each other. So as in this area, electric field is less, so dr will be more, you can see from here. And in these and this region, as electric field is more, so dr is less. So for two positive charges each equal to q, separated by a small distance, the equipotential surfaces are far apart in the region in between the two charges, indicating that a weak field is present in such regions. After that, we have the equipotential surfaces for a uniform electric field. Now, these parallel lines show that the electric field is uniform. So, the lines are equidistant also. It means a uniform electric field is present. So, the equipotential surfaces can be shown with the help of parallel planes. You can see perpendicular to the lines. So, these are the equipotential surfaces. Now, after discussing all about the equipotential surfaces, there is a very important concept again of electric potential energy. Now, potential energy, because of the position, we all know electric potential energy, it means we are having the charges here. So it is the energy possessed by a system of charges by virtue of their positions. So when two like charges are at infinity, their potential energy is zero. But when they are brought closer to one another, work has to be done against the force of repulsion that gets stored as the potential energy. Wait, अब you all know that अगर कोई भी चीज infinity पे है, तो we are not doing any work on the that charge or that body. So in that case, potential energy is zero. But if we are bringing that charge in the field of another charge, तो हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा, वर्क करना पड़ेगा. If the two charges are same, they must be having the force of repulsion. तो हमें वर्क करना पड़ेगा उस force of repulsion के against. और अगर हम वर्क करते हैं, that is stored in the body as the form of potential energy. So the electric potential energy of a system of point charges may be defined as the amount of work done in assembling the charges at their locations by bringing them from infinity. Now, first of all, the simplest case, if you are having the 2-point charges. This is the one charge, that is Q1. This is the other charge that is coming from infinity to this place. Let the position is given by P, and the position that is acquired by the charge Q2 is Q. So when we bring the first charge from infinity, that is Q1, no work is done because there was no field yet to work against. कोई भी पहले फील्ड नहीं था जो इसको अपोज करता, इसलिए इसको यहाँ लाने में हमें कोई भी काम करना नहीं पड़ा. तो you can have W1 is equal to 0. After that, electric potential due to charge Q1 at Q at a distance R12 from P will be. अब अगर ये यहाँ पहुंच गया है तो इसकी वजह से R12 distance पे जो potential होगा, that will be given by potential is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 divided by R12. अब अगर चार्ज Q2 को हम इंफिनिटी से इस पॉइंट के ऊपर ला रहे हैं तो वर्क करना पड़ेगा. दैट वर्क इज गिवन बाय W2 पोटेंशियल इनटू चार्ज V into V1 because of the charge 1 it is into Q2. So this is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R12. So this work done is stored as the potential energy. So the total work done, you will say in this case, will be equal to W1 plus W2 is equal to potential energy. U is the symbol, 0 plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R12. So the potential energy is given by this formula. You can see if a system of two charges. Now if you are having the 3-point charges, तो देखो पहले चार्ज को लाने में कोई काम नहीं करना, दूसरे को लाने में जो काम करना है वो हमने कैलकुलेट कर लिया है. अब जो तीसरा चार्ज है Q3 उसको लेके आना है कहाँ पर, R पे, from infinity to point R. So work has to be done against the forces exerted by Q1 and Q2. So W3 will be equal to potential at R due to Q1 and Q2 into charge Q3. So potential due to charge 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught we can take common, Q1 divided by R13 as this is the distance. And work done by the charge Q2. So you will be having 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q2 divided by R23 because this is the separation into Q3. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, and if you multiply this Q3 with these two terms, you will be having Q1 Q3 divided by R13 plus Q2 Q3 divided by R23. So the total potential energy of the system is given by U is equal to W1 plus W2 plus W3. So this is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. In bracket, you will be having Q1 Q2 by R12 plus Q1 Q3 divided by R13 plus Q2 Q3 divided by R23. And for n point charges in general, we can have U is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught summation for all pairs Qi Qj divided by Rij. Now, if you are having an external field and you are to calculate the potential energy, again, if there is an external field, there must be some electric potential at a given point because of that field. So by using that value, we will calculate the potential energy possessed by the system. So potential energy of a system of 2-point charges in an external field. So you can see this is the source charge, and because of this source charge, here the potential is V1 and here the potential is V2. तो Q1 को कहाँ लेकर आना है, इस पॉइंट के ऊपर, और Q2 को कहाँ लाना है, इस पॉइंट के ऊपर. And let the position vectors for these 2 points are R1 and R2. So work done in bringing Q1 from infinity to R1 against the external field is equal to Q1 V R1. V R1 का मतलब क्या हुआ, potential at R1. Work done in bringing Q2 from infinity to R2 against the external field will be given by Q2 into V R2. So because of this external field, we are having these two terms, and we have already calculated work done on Q2 against the force exerted by Q1 will be equal to what? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R12. So the total potential energy of the system is equal to net work done in assembling the two charges, that is U is equal to Q1 VR1 plus Q2 VR2 plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R2. So this was all about your potential energy in the various cases, and I hope you must have understood. I have tried my best, and if you like this video, please do like, and I will come again with a new video based on capacitors.